Welcome back to the channel guys, and yes guys, car week of 2024 is officially underway, and to kickstart this series we are properly bringing out the all new 911 GT1, which is not by Porsche, but of course it is a complete tribute to the legendary 911 GT1 of the 90s, which is one of the most legendary racing cars out there, which went toe to toe with some other racing legends, i.e. most notably being the McLaren F1 and the proper god tier Mercedes CLK GTR. And of course this is not based on a proper complete 911 GT1, but a complete ground up build as a proper homage by none other than Tuthill, who have created a complete proper beast of a car previously, i.e. the 911K, and they have taken some inspiration from that and more, and they've applied some of that and more to properly creating the all new Tuthill GT1 as they're calling it. And this properly looks beautiful and highly refined, but still maintains the OG 911 GT1 looks with a complete proper carbon fiber body. And as you guys can see, it does not have a wing, but that on its own is a very different perspective as to what we're usually used to of the 911 GT1. And this proper look completely very beautifully accentuates the complete long tail look of this, especially with that complete pop-up lip right at the rear end, similar to what you can find on the F1 GT, and a very prominent roof scoop on top. As I said, a complete carbon fiber body. But one of the main things about this is the complete specifications that the very lucky 22 people can do. And if you think that I mean by specification is the fact of a complete beautiful one-of-one cosmetic commission, a complete exposed carbon fiber weave, or a complete colored carbon fiber tint on the outside with a matching interior, well, of course you can definitely do that. I mean, that is quite literally the basic norm with Tuthill. But they have managed to take speccing of the complete all new GT1 to a whole nother level, such that they are offering you not one but two different powertrains. The 4-liter naturally aspirated flat 6, i.e. inspired from the 911K, as I said, with that 11,000 RPM red line, and of course that also pitches out over 500 horsepower. Or you can go for the mad 4-liter twin turbocharged flat 6, which is quite literally the NA flat 6 just slapped with two turbos, and that pitches out well over 600 horsepower. And on top of that, if you thought that was the end, well, think again, because you are not only given the option of two different powertrains but also two different gearboxes. I mean, first off, two different engines as your options. I mean, that also is mind-boggling. But two different transmissions. I mean, Tuthill have literally thought of everything to properly make this a proper one-of-a-kind hyper on its own. And for the fact that this is the complete resto mod on its own, I mean, wow, I mean, they are literally taking things to stratospheric levels. And through, the two gearboxes that you will be given the option of are, of course, the 7-speed dual clutch flappy paddle gearbox or a proper 6-speed manual. I mean, you can literally combine what is a complete proper turbo powered engine on its own, i.e. the 4-liter twin turbo flat 6 with a 6-speed manual, and with the fact that you are getting turbo power, a complete proper manual gearbox, and for the fact that this weighs in at less than a Porsche Boxster on its own at 1200 kilos, I mean, you could properly make this a proper, very visceral and a proper unique driving experience, a proper one-of-one on its own. I mean, if you thought cosmetically speccing a car in a one-of-one commission or in a one-of-one paint code or in a one-of-one exposed carbon fiber tint was cool, well, think again, because of course that will always be cool, but this literally takes it up to a whole nother level, because you can literally have a one-of-one driving experience in the world unlike anything else. And on top of that, of course, an aero package is in the works, i.e. you can properly option your 911 GT1 by Tuthill with a wing, which will obviously properly bump it up in terms of looks, but nevertheless a complete carbon fiber body. The front clamshell opens forwards, the rear clamshell opens rear, and on top of that, carbon fiber doors, of course, that very prominent proper roof scoop on top, some beautiful wheels with aero discs, of course, and on top of that, they have made it work in such a way such as to properly deem the wing useless, i.e. aerodynamics are still highly significant without that wing. And of course that is due to Mr. Florian Flatau, who is the very man who properly designed this very aesthetically pleasing and the OG proper complete look of the OG 911 GT1, but of course properly refined it unlike anything else to properly bring it to new generation standards. And on top of that, this complete car on its own, I mean, this entire idea was properly born between a conversation between Elliot Ross, who is one of the clients of Richard Tuthill, who is properly the owner of the company, and well, they properly thought of the question, what would a complete modern day GT1 look like, and what would it drive like, and would it properly still be pretty while properly implementing FIA level crash worthiness and road legal measures? And well, the answer to that being yes, it is still as pretty as they come, and even more pretty, I would say, especially without that wing. It properly accentuates the very beautiful long tail look, and with that proper complete up lip of that spoiler, that is the literal cherry on top on its own. I mean, it literally just accentuates it on a whole nother level. And I mean, the specking, guys. I mean, if you thought cosmetic specking was god tier, well, here is Tuthill with not just cosmetic specking, but powertrain specking as well as gearbox specking, and you can properly make it a one of one, a proper one of a kind driving experience on its own. And on top of that, I mean, what else could you want, guys? I mean, they have literally taken specification in terms of personal specification of a car of this caliber to a whole nother level. And well, I mean, if a rest remote company is able to do this, well, the proper main marquees have got a way more new thing coming their way. Well, what do you guys think? And of course, in terms of the interior, it is incredibly drool worthy. The complete beautiful white leather with the orange stitching, and of course a complete digital gauge cluster on its own to properly stay in line with new gen modern tech. But of course, the beautiful analog buttons right behind that gear shift knob on its own, I mean, that is exactly what we want. I mean, it is quite literally throwing it back to a time where these big digital screens weren't the norm, but of course now they are. But nevertheless, we are not getting any big gizmos in terms of a complete infotainment screen other than the complete digital gauge cluster. And I mean, it looks so simplistic, yet it looks completely drool worthy. I mean, I just want to keep on leering at it. The way the complete interior goes together, it is absolutely beautiful to the eyes. And on top of that, towards the rear end, two exhaust tailpipes, of course, which of course comes with a complete Inconel exhaust system, and on top of that, twin wishbone front and rear suspension, of course, to give it the proper handling capabilities. And on top of that, it's got the FIA grade rollover protection system, of course, to properly give it the proper worthiness to make it a proper track worthy beast, at the same time giving it road legal measures. I mean, it is a proper road going track weapon on its own. And in addition to that, as I said, a proper aero package is very much in the works, and I mean, it is quite already a proper track worthy road ready beast. And well, to add to that, I mean, that is quite literally just completely putting the cherry on top furthermore on its own. And I mean, I can't get over how beautiful it looks, guys. I mean, I get it, it's quite literally, for the better part, the exact look as the 90s 911 GT1, but it looks so cohesive, way more than it did back in the 90s. But I mean, brought to our new generation standards on a whole nother level. And I mean, the interior, the complete beautiful looks, the refinements, the complete very proper complete prominent roof scoop, the beautiful looks carbon fiber body, the fact that you can properly get a one-of-one driving experience unlike anything else on this planet. And on top of that, this thing being properly lighter than a Porsche Boxster, having as much power as a Turbo S, and on top of that, looking as beautiful as it does with FIA level crash worthiness, and to give it the proper safety standards such as you'd get in race cars on its own. I mean, need I go on anymore about the all new GT1, guys? And well, I mean, if this isn't the legend being reborn, I don't know what is. Well, guys, what do you think? Comment below. And of course, on top of that, the complete proper S ducts in the front that properly exits out through the double vents on the complete bonnet, the complete fender mounted mirrors, way more properly refined in terms of looks. And on top of that, the vents behind the doors that properly exits out towards the rear back. And of course, those are most probably used to properly cool the tires and the brakes. And speaking of the brakes, this also comes with proper carbon ceramics with bespoke calipers on its own. And on top of that, some more vents right in the front bumper, of course, that properly exits out behind the front wheels, once again, of course, most likely to properly dissipate the heat from the brakes as well as the tires. And I mean, everything is completely functional, yet keeps the proper pretty looks of the OG 911 GT1 in a way more refined manner. And I mean, guys, I mean, that interior on its own is incredibly drool worthy. I just want to keep on leering at it. And well, I mean, carbon fiber all over, lighter than a Porsche Boxster, with the availability of Turbo S power, a complete manual gearbox or a complete flappy paddle gearbox, a complete aero package in the works. And I mean, there's definitely more along the lines, but nevertheless, with all of this, it will definitely carry a very hefty price tag. But nevertheless, so far it is a massive W, and of course a massive hats off to Tuthill, and of course a big proper hats off to Mr. Florian Flatau on such a beautiful design, in a way of properly reworking the proper OG design, yet sticking to it to keep it pretty, yet at the same time giving it FIA level safety standards and keeping it road legal and giving it the proper track worthiness that we'd want of a proper legend or a proper rebirth of a legend, i.e. the 911 GT1. Well, what do you guys think on below? And of course, the underbody and surface aerodynamic performance have been properly optimized by CFD analysis, i.e. computational fluid dynamics, fully working in flow to properly maximize performance and properly enhance it to properly give it the proper gripping capabilities for it to properly take on any racetrack on the planet. Well, I mean, guys, I mean the proper complete contemporary looks, the complete cohesiveness of the overall car, and I mean the complete proper non-wing look is actually severely growing on me way more than the winged look. But nevertheless, an aero package is also very much in the works. So thereby, this is not the complete final phase of it being the complete track ready weapon, and well, it can only go up and up. Well, what do you guys think on below? And of course, I mean, what is your proper choosing in terms of the complete powertrain and gearbox, guys? I mean, if you ask me, I would very much go for the 4-liter NA flat 6, although it might be putting out lower power, and I would combine that with the manual, especially with the fact with the complete track ready capabilities of the all-new Tuthill GT1. That would definitely be a proper complete unique driving experience. And on top of that internal exhaust system coupled with that 11,000 rpm red line, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure you can make out where I'm going with this. That will be absolute music to the ears. And well, I mean, guys, the beautiful looks, everything is just properly perfect in every way whatsoever. And of course, this being a proper track ready beast, well, it's all the more incentive to properly name this a proper legend. And of course, a massive hats off once again to Tuthill and Mr. Florian Flatau on properly doing a proper legendary job on the complete beautiful aesthetically pleasing looks, yet at the same time keeping it extremely pretty in line with the complete new gen standards of crash safety. Well, what do you guys think on below? And well, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Remember to hit that sub button and click the bell to ensure you don't miss out on any future videos. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. See ya.